Hey humans. Welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I am going to read to you. Yes, I am. Reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Chapter Part. Just kidding. Chapter 12, Part 2. Part 2. Uno, dos. My days were spent in close attention, that I might more speedily master the language. And I may boast that I improved more rapidly than the Arabian, who understood very little and conversed in broken accents, while I comprehended and could imitate almost every word that was spoken. Wow. I was born last year and I'm understanding this shit more than you. Miss Accent, Miss Beautiful, Miss Thing, Miss Come in here, brand new, make everybody happy when I have to hide in the fucking shadows and I've been working my ass off, giving them wood and berries and just in general trying to clear the path of the snow. And in general, in general. I'm better at learning language though, that's for sure. I lost my spot. Get so heated. While I improved in speech, I also learned the science of letters as it was taught to the stranger. And this opened before me a wide field for wonder and delight. The book from which Felix instructed Safie was Volney's Ruins of Empires. I should not have understood the purport of this book had not Felix, in reading it, given very minute explanations. He had chosen his work, he said, because the declamatory style was framed in imitation of the Eastern authors. Through this work, I obtained a cursory knowledge of history and a view of the several empires at present existing in the world. It gave me an insight into the manners, government, and religions of the different nations of earth. I heard of the slothful Asiatics, like Asian antics. Don't be getting up to those Asiatics, right? Asiatics, I guess. Like those Asiatics of the stupendous genius and mentally activity of the Grecians, of the wars and the wonderful virtue of the early Romans, of their subsequent degeneration, of the decline of the mighty empire, of chivalry, Christianity, and kings. I heard of the discovery of the American hemisphere and wept with Safie over the hapless fate of its original inhabitants. Hey, come on now. No, Nene, come here. Come on, up here. I know, come on. I know you want to be up here. She's silly. Come here. These wonderful narrations inspired me with strange feelings. Was man, indeed, at once so powerful, so virtuous and magnificent, yet so vicious and base? Basic, more like it. He appeared at one time a mere scion of evil principle, and at another as all that can be conceived of noble and godlike. To be a great and virtuous man appeared the highest honor that can befall a sensitive being. to be base and vicious, as many on records have been, appeared the lowest degradation, a condition more abject than that of the blind mole or harmless worm. She's comfortable. Cutie pie. Fuck. For a long time, I could not conceive how one man could go forth to murder his fellow, or even why there was laws and governments. But when I heard details of vice and bloodshed, my wonder ceased, and I hurried away with disgust and loathing. Every conversation of the cottagers now opened new wonders to me. While I listened to the instructions which Felix bestowed upon the Arabian, the strange system of human society was explained to me. I heard of the division of property, of immense wealth and squalid poverty, of rank, descent, and noble blood. The words induced me to turn toward myself. I learned that the possessions most esteemed by your fellow creatures were high and unsullied descent united with riches. A man might be respected with only one of these acquisitions, but without either he was considered, except in very rare instances, as a vagabond and a slave, doomed to waste his powers for the profit of the chosen few. And what was I? Of my creation and creator, I was absolutely ignorant. But I knew what I possessed. I knew that I possessed no money, no friends, no kind of property. I was besides endowed with a figure hideously deformed and loathsome. I was not even of the same nature as man. I was more agile than they and could subsist upon coarser diet. I bore the extremes of heat and cold with less injury to my frame. My stature far exceeds theirs. When I looked around, I saw and heard of none like me. Was I then a monster, a blot upon the earth from which all men fled and whom all men disowned? I cannot describe to you the agony that these reflections inflicted upon me. I tried to dispel them, but sorrow only increased with knowledge. Oh, that I had forever remained in my native wood, nor known or felt beyond the sensations of hunger, thirst, and heat. Of what a strange nature is knowledge. It clings to the mind when it has once seized on it, like a lichen on the rock. I wished sometimes to shake off all thought and feeling, but I learned that there was but one means to overcome the sensation of pain, and that was death, a state which I feared, yet did not understand. I admired virtue and good feelings, and loved the gentle manners and amiable qualities of my cottagers, but I was shut out from intercourse with them, except through means which I obtained by stealth when I was unseen and unknown, and which rather increased than satisfied the desire I had of becoming one among my fellows. The gentle words of Agatha and the animated smiles of the charming Arabian were not for me. The mild exhortations of the old man and the lively conversation of the loved Felix were not for me. Miserable, unhappy wretch. Other lessons were impressed upon me even more deeply. I heard of the differences of sexes, of the birth and growth of children, how the father doted on the smiles of the infants and the lively sallies of the older children, how all the life and cares of the mothers were wrapped up in the precious charge, how the mind of youth expanded and gained knowledge of brother, sister, and all various relationships which bind one human being to another in mutual bonds. But where were my friends and relations? No father had watched my infant days, no mother had blessed me with smiles and caresses, or if they had, All my past life was now a blot, a blind vacancy in which I distinguished nothing. From my earliest remembrance, I had been as I then was in height and proportion. I had never yet seen a being resembling me or who claimed any intercourse with me. What was I? The question again recurred, to be answered only with groans. I will soon explain to what these feelings tended, but allow me now to return to the cottagers, whose story excited in me such various feelings of indignation, delight, and wonder, but which all terminated in additional love and reverence for my protectors. For so I loved, in an innocent, half painful self-deceit to call them. Boom, 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 boom. That's the end of the chapter, but let me give you that last bit again. Now that was parentheses. So after he's like, all terminated in additional love and reverence for my protectors. Parentheses. For so I loved, in an innocent, half painful, deceitful, to call them. You know what I mean? Wonderful. Wonderful. Chapter 12. Yeah, chapter 12. Just had to make sure my mic was on. Well, if you want to keep hearing me read some more, please watch some more of my videos. Like, subscribe, and write some comments down below. You can leave a comic if you'd like, too. I will read it. I will look at it thoroughly and inspect it and laugh or cry or whatever. Maybe nothing. Maybe I won't enjoy it. I don't have to like everything, and you don't have to like everything. That's why it's okay if you don't like this. It's not for you. Maybe it is. It's for you, but it's not for you. That you. Anyway, thanks, and we're friends now, whether you want it to be or not. We're friends. Bye, friend. See you next time, friend.